Hey, it's the Chief Bonnie with board games, and I'm way behind the curve, but we're going to be looking at Azul. So there's tons of reviews out on this already. And I actually thought I'm not even going to do a review on it, but my family's enjoyed it so much, I thought I would do one just to expound on why we enjoy it so much. So we'll go and we'll take a closer look, and we'll come out. I'll tell you my thoughts. Clearly I enjoy it, so you'll hear a somewhat biased opinion, I guess. All right, see you guys in a second. All right, I've got a game set up. Normally you wouldn't be this encroached. These would be in the middle. Your board would be just your board, and if you're playing, this is set up for a two-player game, but you basically add in more of these factories based on how many people are playing. It's right in the front of the rules. You've got this beautiful bag that is full of extra little, what I call starburst pieces that you'll be filling the factories with. Your player board is here. Now there's a couple things on here. Your little scoring cube will sit up here, and you'll be tracking your score as you go. I'll get into how you score. You will win based on whoever has the most points, so I will get back and cover that. Your board here this is basically the pattern that you will be placing your tiles over here that will then slide into here and make your kind of panorama, or your whatever they call it. All right, basically you're just collecting these cubes over here. So how do you do this? It's extremely simple. So on my turn, I have a choice. If there's something in the middle, I can always take all of one color from the middle, or I can take all of one color from one of these factories. So let's just say I take these two reds. When I take the reds, I now have to put it in one of these 5 slots here. Now I've got 2. I could put into this very first slot, but I could only fit 1. And if if you overfill, one of these glass pieces, they call them little glass cubes, would break and go into negative scoring. So I wouldn't want to do that. So let's just say I would put it here, and that would be my turn. All of these would have gone into the middle because I took all of one color from the factory, and the rest, the stuff I didn't take, just gets pushed into the center. I need to show this now because there'll be someone that's the first player. Whoever the first player is, they take their very first turn of the round, and then that goes in there as well. And if you ever take the first person to take something from the middle, no matter what it is, not only takes that piece, but this first token player piece goes down in here and counts as -1. You'll see on here, I think you can see it -1, -1, and then it goes to -2, -2, -2, -3, -3, and those cascade up. So if you get stuck with a whole lot of pieces that end up down in breakage, you're going to be really minusing your score off up here a lot. So it would go to the next person's turn, and they would do the exact same thing. I'm just going to show you my table here again as if it were me. So let me do one more. So let's say this is great. There's three black ones up here. So if it was my turn, I would take 3 here, again, pushing this into the middle. Now these, I could either go and put them right into this 3 spot, or maybe I'm building for something bigger. Let me go ahead and just place them down here. All right. So I don't have this completed. When I take them, they all must go in the same row. So I can't split them around or spread them about. They're all attached and they all go in together. And if I were to get even, let's just pretend another set of 3 here, I would have to put 2 of them in, and then obviously the third one wouldn't fit. It would go down into breakage. But we would come back, other people at the table, again, my partner, this is set up for a 2-player game, they would be taking pieces. I probably should have assumed maybe they took these on their turn, so that would have pushed these in, and then it came back to me and I grabbed those black ones, all right, pushed in, and then it comes back to their turn, and let's just pretend that they wanted these blues, and then that pushes these into the center. So it's come back to me, and I've decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and take these 3 snowflake pieces, and I'm going to, because I'm the first one to take something out of the middle, I have to take the first player token, and I want those to go right onto there. This comes down, all right, it's the other person's turn. They decide they want these 2, again, all of one color from either the middle or one of the factories. Comes back to me, and I decide, you know what, I want to work toward this black, but I can only take one from here or one from here. I was kind of hoping she would have pushed that extra black in. I don't have much of a choice, so let me just take this one black from the middle, again, all of one color, and I'm hoping I get that in the future. She takes her turn, and she goes, you know what? I see you're working. I keep saying she because we're going to pretend it's my wife Liz playing. She's like, I see you want the black one, and maybe her tableau, she could use black too. She decides, you know what? I'm going to deny you, and I'm going to take that black. She pushes these into the middle. It's back to me, and I'm thinking, what do I do? What do I do? Well, let me take this red one, and I'll just put it in as a single one up in the spot. She decides she wants yet another. I take this other snowflake, put it in there. She takes the blue. That has ended the round where we're taking cubes or starbursts or pieces or whatever you want to call it, and we'll move into scoring, and I'll show you how they're going to come over and score. All right, so I'm going to come in and we're going to show how this will score. So the way this goes is you've got the first one in the category is always going to come over and take its position on the board. So this one slides down. It's going to take that spot there. Scoring here is, so there's only one, so I'm only going to get 1 point. But had there been other tiles already here, you get to count all those that are in a row horizontally. And if there had been some here, I could count all those in a row vertically. But again, there's only one. But we're going to do the same thing here. The first one slides over. All right, it goes to that spot. Now again, there's nothing else with it, so it's only worth 1 point. I score 1. Now this just gets tossed back into the box, and eventually it will go back into the bag to make up for the pieces that go down into the factories. So again, I've completed these. So I had 1 here, I had 2 here, I have 3 snowflakes. It slides over. There's nothing in line horizontally or vertically. It's worth 1 point. Slides over. These extra ones again, they sit and go back into the box to be put in the bag later. Now this one I did not complete. That's fine. I just can't score it. I'm going to have to get, in a future turn, I'm going to have to get 3 more snowflakes in here in order to score it. So that one will just stay there. It does nothing. And I'm stuck with the same problem here with black. I didn't get that last one. If you remember right, Liz grabbed it and took it, so I couldn't complete it. So nothing will push over here. This is something I can complete later in the future. I have a -1 because I did take the first person token. So I'd set it off to the side and I would minus my score back 1. So in this round, I got a total of 2 points. Now I do want to show if I'd had, let's say I'd taken on some occasion, I really wanted to make sure that I got that 5th black piece. And let's just say in order to do it, remember, if you take something off of a factory, you've got to take all of one color. So I can't just take 1, which is all I need. I have to take all of them. That would have gone into the middle, but I can only, if I would have been able to do that, I can only fit 1. These would have also gone down into breakage. And so I would have ended up with -1 for 2, another -2, -4. Of course, I would have scored that, but you can kind of see how the breakage ends up happening. So sometimes you're forced to take more than you want, and it's fine. It just comes in and hurts your score. So this would continue until somebody ends up getting all 5 pieces filled up on any one of these horizontal lines. The second somebody's got all of their horizontal lines, so all 5 pieces are filled, that's going to signal that it's the last turn. Everybody finishes that round. They then, I keep saying round and turn, but it'll finish that round basically. You will score it and it'll be over. Now here we've begun, and you don't really get a picture of that. But what happens is you're continually scoring as you fill these. Once somebody has gotten all 5 into a horizontal deal and ended the game, now when you come into score, not only do you do the scoring as they push out into the middle, you come down and you do your bonus scoring. So if you get all 5 horizontal, that's a bonus 2. If you were to get 7 all 5 vertically, you get a +7. And if you end up getting 5, I can show you this one real quick, real easy. If I ended up getting all 5 reds, so over the course of the game, I'd collected and had 5s in all areas on the board, I'm going to get a bonus 10. And I could have done that if we'd played multiple rounds. It's possible that I was able to also do that with black. And if I did it with black, I would get a bonus 10 for that as well, bumping my score up in that area 20. So again, just to kind of show how, all right, that would have been one of the vertical rows would have been worth 7. And if I had peeled this up here, you can see where that would have been worth 2. So that's in final scoring only. But it means you can have a really quick game. Somebody really slides this horizontal thing in, game's over pretty quick, and maybe they noticed I was about ready to get, you know, a bonus 10 scoring thing and they wanted to stop it. Or they can go rather long and you got people filling their boards up. The very, very tough decisions start to happen as your board here fills up. If I had, let's say, only blue was open, but I get stuck near the end of the game and I've got all these areas are filled up and I can only put red in this spot, well, red's already filled the spot. Since I can't put it onto the board, it would be automatic breakage. So some of the tough decisions happen as your board over here gets crowded. Suddenly you can't fit everything in where you want to fit it in. And it can lead toward a lot of negative points. So you get real tactical when you're grabbing things off of these factories because you don't want to get stuck with something that's not going to fit in one of your lines. And that's about it. We'll come out. I'll give my final thoughts on Azul. So what do we enjoy about it, or what do I enjoy about it? It's kind of you're in your own lane when you're playing. You're working your own board with the simple thing of I either take all of a color on a factory or all of a color in the center. So the choices mechanically are pretty darn simple. But as the game progresses and you're filling up your little tableau of colors here, you do get into a little bit more of a difficult decision space. So that's entertaining. Meanwhile, although it feels a little bit like it's just me interacting on this board, you do have chances where if I know Liz, my wife, is going for blue and there's only one blue out there and maybe she needs that blue in order to complete her thing that's going to give her the bonus 10, I take it. I can use it somewhere more than likely. And so you can adjust. You do need to pay attention to the other folks and what they're doing, but they can't really generally, they're not in control of messing you over entirely. But it keeps it from being a group solitaire experience into a, hey, I'm mostly in my lane, but what are they doing? What are they doing? What's going on? What's my son up to over here? And again, the key point here is I enjoy it for the sake of playing it. Yes, I'm trying to win, but even when I lose, it's fun, it's tactile, it sounds good. There's a lot of pouring those back in and putting these out, and the colors look nice. So it's short, it's fun. I don't know, I've said everything else in about a tidbit. So that's what I get from it. And in particular, there's nights where it's been a stressful day at work for myself, for my wife, for my son at school. And we're kind of thinking, oh, we don't want to really get into a heavy game. And then my son or Liz or all, how about Azul? Yeah, everybody's like, yeah. So it hits the table. We ultimately, invariably end up playing more than one game. But I don't feel a lot of stress while I'm playing it, and it's that kind of almost that rhythm that actually feels very comfortable. So I guess what Azul gives me is that play rhythm. It is just really nice, really comfortable, fairly easy with the decision space wrapped inside. That is it. Chief, bonding with board games. See you guys. Different place where I'm filming, by the way. I don't know. We'll see if we like it.